Okay, let's see if I can give this a try. Good morning, everybody. My first video for Dave's Weather. I am going to kind of do a video explanation of the post I just wrote. I'm going to start off kind of with what's coming in the next 10 days, basically from the 9 to probably 11-day time frame. We are really looking at possibly an active pattern evolving for the Midwest. I don't know. Is it going to be Wisconsin, Chicago area, south of us? I don't know yet. But I'm going to kind of skip over to this is day 10 on the Canadian. You see this low pressure right here where this blue arrow is, and it seems to want to take the storm somewhere right around here in central Indiana. The GFS's latest run is kind of confirming this, but I'm going to show an earlier run of what the GFS is also showing. So I'm going to escape out of here and kind of go forward to the GFS. As you can see here, the GFS is much stronger with this low. It has the low tracking from Texas up to right over Chicago. I'm going to go ahead and hit the pen, so you're going to have to bear with me because I'm not really used to this yet. But you can see the low pressure right in here, and that's a little bit further north than what the Canadian has, and partially because it bundles more of the energy, and it will track it tends to track the low with that much energy. It's kind of tracking it up like that, and then really clobbering Chicago. However, the latest run that just came out that I don't have on this video takes this low more kind of like this, which would be a colder solution for the Midwest. The Canadian, I'm going to undo this. I'm just going to leave this map up and show what the Euro shows. And again, this is the 9 to 10 day period. This could be fantasy land, and I might be just wasting my time and everybody's time here because you get high model valid, what is that word? Volatility this far out. I'm sorry, but you do. And but what I've been seeing over the last 4 or 5 days are very consistent in a track doing this or a track doing this, or there's even been some runs of the track of the system doing even this up through Wisconsin, but that has seemed to have went away. But the latest Euro is now coming right through here, which puts us really close to the rain snow line. So like I said, long way off. We'll see how this all turns out. I might just be dreaming right now, but I do think there is something to really watch once you get beyond the 7-day time frame. So we'll see. So what I want to go into next are the ensembles. This is the Canadian. This is the overall temperature pattern from January 24th to not January, from February. Yeah, from January 24th, this was initialized, and this is for February 9th. So I'm going to let's see if I can figure this out here. I'm going to show what this model is showing here. It has a cold pocket in here, and what that does is it pumps the ridge. It pumps it up into Alaska, and then it brings the warm air up in here, and then that'll bring the cold air down, which you see right in here. So it appears that the pattern is going to be cooling off. We're gonna definitely spike temperatures later this week into the weekend, and then it appears to be the following week, depending on what that storm I just talked about, where it goes. But once that storm passes, it does look like we're going to get back into a colder pattern. Now, how warm it gets this weekend will be dependent on where that storm tracks. If that storm tracks more to the north, it will bring warmer temperatures and a warmer pattern for an extra couple days. If it tracks south through the Ohio Valley, then the pattern is going to spike for a couple, 2-3 days. Here's another picture, illustrating the blue in the Gulf of Alaska there. Uh, this is an ensemble. See how see if you follow the lines, how it brings the warm air into Canada and then brings the cold air down. And this blue area here is a trough. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a lot of storms tracking in this type of pattern. What normally happens, you get a lot of storms tracking through the Ohio Valley and then back up east. Now, will they track down here? Will they track through here and give us more snow? That's still yet to be seen. And, you know, for the people that want snow out there, I wouldn't give up hope yet. But at the same time, we just haven't been able to hit the slot in the Chicago area. It seems like they're either going south, they're staying north, and we've gotten some cold air mixed into this pattern, but we just can't get the warm air to get, or not the warm, we just can't get the snow to get going in our in the Midwest here in the Chicago area. Here's another picture. This is GEFS. This is their ensemble run, basically showing the same thing. It does have a little bit more warm air up in here, as I was describing. That is a colder pattern, and it's a stormier pattern, but this pattern would be a little bit more stormy down through the Ohio Valley and up the East Coast. And the other pattern I showed would be a little bit more of a snowier pattern for Chicago, but we'll see. I mean, this pattern still could be a good pattern. This could also yield some clipper systems coming down like that. So we'll see. But what I want to move on to next is we got a little bit, just a brief explanation of the current El Nino going on. We have the warmest temperatures now centered right here, which is important because in 97, 98, the warmest temperatures were centered right off the South American coast. Well, what happens when they're centered over here is you do typically get a little bit more cold air to come down in the east half of the country. When it's centered over here, you get more of a warm a warm ridge in this area of the country, warmer weather, where you get a lot of Pacific air, so you would get the cold air would be more centered off the west coast. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll go from there. The next thing I want to talk to everybody about, and this is a little bit more technical, but it's basically easy to understand. I've been downloading a lot of pictures from Dr. Judah Cohen. He has some great explanations on strat warming and some great posts on it. And to put it in simple terms, you can see this chart here, December into January. This was the little warm spike we had in the stratosphere, and we have been in a colder pattern now. The stratus cooled off, as you can see here. But look at this later in the month. It really, you get a lot of energy in here, and this shows the strat warming here, and this is the current strat going on right now, which is cold, and we are going to spike in temperatures. And to me, it's no coincidence, you got this cold stratosphere up in here, putting in a positive Arctic oscillation, which will bring in a little bit of warmer weather, this coming week into the weekend. But as this starts to evolve, I have to think, with all this warm air up in here, as this evolves, I have to think that the temperatures are going to start getting colder again later in the month and into early February. I'm going to show another picture. You have, this is the, let's see which one this is. I believe this is the European ensemble showing the strat. No, that's the U.S. This is also the U.S. Strat. You can see all this warm. You can see all this warm air up in here. I mean, you get the cold air. This warm air, what this can do, this can split the polar vortex, where it can go. The warm air forces the cold air. The warm air in the Arctic regions forces the cold air to come down into the U.S. and sometimes down into Europe. That splits the vortex, which causes a much colder pattern. We'll see. I mean, maybe the models are wrong. This is the European. Again, you can see all the reds and the strat warming that's taking place. And as we go through the next week or so, I think I can get a better handle on what's going on. Hopefully, this wasn't too rough on everybody. I did have a few stumbles in there. It's going to take me some time to get used to, but I'm going to try to put out a video at least once a week explaining some of my posts and some of the patterns and what I'm thinking of what is going on out there. So, everybody have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you guys soon.